Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access and welcome back to the Tuesday Checklist, the weekly video where we jump into a conversation about games based on what's coming out soon. This week that means PlayStation Classic, the miniature recreation of the original PlayStation that's out right now, preloaded with 20 standout games from the old lineup. The question is, which one will you play first? Us? First up is Rob and, could be anything this, couldn't it? Surprise us, Rob.
Hello viewers.
Yeah, that's weird. It's a weird choice.
So the first game that I'm going to play on PlayStation Classic is going to be Final Fantasy VII. I mean, it's got the PlayStation Classic has my two favourite games of all time on it. Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy VII. So I'm just juggling those, thinking, I don't know, and it's Final Fantasy VII. I'm going to play that one first because I've not played Final Fantasy VII for like 5 months. that was my joke, Dave. Since playing it for a bit on PS4, you know, I played it on PS1. When I played it on PS1, it was back in those times where I was a child who had maybe 4 or 5 games. And I didn't get new games until it was my birthday or Christmas, which for me is the same day, sadly. So I just replayed the same games that I had, and Final Fantasy VII, I definitely finished at least 4 or 5 times. And it's, you know, it's like a 50, 60-hour game. So I played it a bunch of times on PS1. Then when it was re-released as a PS1 Classic on PS3, I played it again. And then it was also released on PS4, and I played it again. Didn't finish it on PS4, but I played it again and started it. And now I'm going to play it again on PlayStation Classic, just to experience the true Final Fantasy VII, like the real Final Fantasy VII. Because the one on PS4 is, you know, it's a bit too good looking. Like it's a bit smoothed out, and you know, it's tweaked very slightly. You know,
is there not a way you could put it back to the original on the PS4, or is it completely like smooth?
It's completely smooth, basically. It's just, it's like all the textures are smooth, the menus are, you know, I don't want it to look that good. I want it to look how it looked in 1997, which on the PlayStation Classic is how it looks. Like, you know, it's not HD, it's not got trophies, it's just that wonderful originalness. And I don't think I could play Final Fantasy VII enough times to not want to play it again. Wow. It's that good a game, and I really want you to play it, Dave, on the PlayStation Classic. Just give it a go, just a little try.
Hey Rob, here's a curveball. Is there a game on the Classic which you haven't played before, which you're quite excited to try?
Yes.
What is that?
And I think that would have to be Persona, the first Persona, which my knowledge of is not great at all. Like the first Persona I played, I was quite late to the Persona party, was Persona 4 Golden on PlayStation Vita, on the recommendation of basically everyone whose opinion I trusted. It was like, you must play Persona 4 Golden. And when people were explaining it to me, it's like this turn-based role-playing game, and half of it is like, you know, building up friendships with people in a school, and it's like divided into days, and you go to school and you do your lessons. When someone explains Persona to you, it sounds rubbish. It sounds absolute rubbish, bonkers nonsense.
I stopped listening then.
But when you play it, it's so good. It's so well written. It's so stylish. I mean, you've seen Persona 5. Just have a look at the menu, and it's like, oh my god, you could just play that menu for 30 hours, and it would be a 10 out of 10 game. And so I am intrigued to see the origins of the Persona series, but I won't be playing it until I've played Final Fantasy VII first, because there is nothing greater than Final Fantasy VII for me. It's that game that encapsulates all of the positive feelings I have about PlayStation and about video games are in Final Fantasy VII.
So the game that I'm really looking forward to playing on the Classic is a game that even before anything was said, I was always like, I'd love to see this game on the Classic. And I was so happy when it was, and that is Oddworld Abe's Oddysee. Yay!
Somebody else.
I'm in the family. Literally, I love Oddworld and I love Abe's Oddysee, Exodus, the whole series I adore. I've got so much like Oddworld merch, it's great. And Oddysee is a game, out of the whole set, that's always the one that's kind of meant the most to me, and it's also my kind of personal favourite. Because I know everyone's always like, oh, Exodus is great because you have so many new gameplay mechanics, but I'm still just like, at the core of it, I much prefer Odyssey, like Abe's Oddysee, with all the story, it's the gorgeous, oh god, I'm gonna see like the gorgeous art and everything on like, just portably, I'm gonna be able to take it with me to a friend's house and be like, look at this landscape. And I can't wait for moments like that. And either way, I haven't played Oddworld in a while, and I was actually thinking about picking it up again just because I love it. So it's gonna be a situation, I'm gonna plug it in and I'm just gonna play it. And even people who haven't played it, I remember even when I was at school, people used to, if I got like excited, I remember when New and Tasty came out, I got really excited for it. And all my friends at school were like, what is this game? What are you talking about this? But now, with the classic, I'll be able to say, aha, alas, I have it all in, let me show you the ways.
So I've always had this question for Dave, it's one of his favourite games as well, which is, it really, like, I've never played it all the way through because it makes me really sad.
Why?
Because Abe's sort of an idiot, and he's got this really weird voice, and the world is horrible, and everyone's getting eaten. And
But
Abe
Abe
is quite good. Isn't it depressing?
Abe is good in a world that could be bad if not for him.
Yeah, like and not everything has to get eaten. If you save everything, you could be the voice that make things not get eaten.
I was going to say, are you going to go for are you going to try and save every Madokan?
Oh yeah, I always do that. Yeah, I always go for the good ending. I don't have the conscience to kill them, and even if I did kill like the one, I never save it and I immediately reset it. So
there were multiple endings. In Abe's Odyssey.
there's
That's
two,
right.
and it's a good two. You have the grand choice of two.
Back when Abe's Odyssey first came out, that was like 2. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I have to play really well.
Used to one.
Have you ever played it 2-player?
Yes, I did. When did I play it 2-player? I think my brother and I played it 2-player when we were kids, but because at the time he was always a lot better at games than myself. It was because you only switched when the other player died, didn't you?
I don't know, I've never played it 2-player.
Oh yeah, because it's like, so you got player 1, they go first, and let's say if you do a jump wrong or a slig gets you, then player 2 gives it a go. So it's kind of like a turn-based. But you could play it 1 player and just swap the controllers, but
Yeah,
you kind of feel more interactive when you've got the player 1 tag and then the player 2 tag.
that's me.
That's me cool. I was always player 2
Yeah.
because I was the younger sibling.
That's the rule.
That's the rule. You're the youngest. You get that player 2 rank.
Is there a game on the Classic that you've not played yet, but are excited to play?
I'm very excited to give Wild Arms a shot.
Oh yeah.
I've heard many good stories about Wild Arms, and it's always been a game that I've seen like on the PlayStation Store because it came out on PS3, like for the classic section, and I've always been intrigued as to what it is. So probably Wild Arms is one I'm gonna give a shot, but I am also very excited to properly play Kurashi or the Intelligent Cube, because that was a game I always played on demo. I only ever had it on demo, I never had the full-on game. And even though the game's gonna be like the same premise, I'm sure, I can't imagine them spicing it up as much, I'm still excited just to kind of play the full game, get more of the puzzles, get rid of more cubes.
That's a classic PlayStation experience, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
playing a game. I played that, no way, I only ever had the demo.
Just the demo and just hearing the man scream as he falls down every time I failed as a kid. Reliving the memories, it's gonna be great.
Life lesson.
Life lessons.
So I might well have said Abe's Odyssey because it's my favourite, it's so good. And it probably is my favourite game on the classic lineup, I think. But Rosie said that. So I'm gonna
You should have gone before me, boy.
So I've decided to go with a game that I played hours of. I've mentioned this before as well, hours of as a child, but it was only the same 15 minutes, which is GTA, the original GTA, which I had on a demo disc from some PlayStation magazine or other, and it was just, it was a timed one. I think the way that this worked, I mean, it can't have been the whole game, but it did feel like the whole game was there. It's just, you just had 15 minutes to do it because there was so much to explore. You could drive around the whole map. You couldn't get over the bridge, although I think you could get over the bridge if you jumped it. I think you were instantly like in lots of trouble with the police. Anyway, I played the demo as a kid. I want to find out, you know, I want to go back. I want to finally have the experience because there was no way I was getting that game as a kid as well. I was playing it when I was like, you know, 13 maybe. My parents not massively into games or understanding of them. Despite buying me my PlayStation, I think having them buy me GTA would have been a step too far. Yeah, and now it's little did we know then that it's the kind of foundation stone of this massive empire of incredible games. The latest one of which, is Red Dead 2, which I've been playing just absolutely loads of these past couple of weeks. The first thing I want to do in the game, which is controversial, but it's something I used to always do in the demo, is try and run over all the Hare Krishnas in a line. Because you get a bonus for it. You get a bonus for it. It's they're always nearby. I didn't know what they were for years. They were just like little orange dudes all in a line. And I was like, this just looks like games, where like when you see things lined up, you've got to knock them all down. But I don't really know if there's a story. I'm sure there is, like with the phone boxes, I'm sure that there's some kind of link, and you maybe even find out who's giving you these missions. I don't know. I know nothing.
Oh, do you get missions from the phone boxes?
Yeah, so you drive to like phone boxes that are just ringing, and you get the voice is just it's like that sort of like old school phone voice from old movies and things, and you just get given missions. You also, this is how old it is, have a pager. And the pager is super dangerous to read and drive because the text goes across about this speed. So you're just like the whole time, like just crashing into more Hare Krishnas and things. So that's going to be the first thing I'm gonna play. I think I'm gonna get in there and finally figure out what was going on in GTA and see if it makes me feel young again. Maybe I'll just go straight back to Red Dead. Maybe I won't be able to handle,
I really miss my horse.
And what's your bonus game you've never played before but you're quite excited to play?
Well,
GTA.
Yeah, that's the
Yes,
secret
yeah.
answer. It's GTA.
Yeah,
I've covered
GTA,
both
yeah.
bases, but but maybe a little bit Metal Gear actually, because although I've played it with Nath, I'd probably give it another go on my own. I'd quite like to give it a run on my own, especially since now I've nothing against you, Nath. I just feel like I'd get I'd figure out, I'd know what I was doing a bit better, and maybe I wouldn't have Rob sneering at me, and it would be a nicer experience.
You didn't have me sneering at you the first time.
No, I haven't, Rob, but I've seen the video footage. I've seen what was going on next door. But actually, real talk, and Nate's probably going to sneer at me for this, but I think it might be Tekken 3, because Tekken was the very first PlayStation game I ever played, and I've never been good at beating them up, so I've never given them a chance since, really. And it feels now that beat 'em ups are too advanced. Every time I pick one up, everybody already knows the characters. They already know, from years ago, everybody knows the characters from Tekken's past, for example, and they already know some moves and stuff. And I feel like I've got the whole hill to climb. So Tekken 3 feels a bit more like there can't be as much nuance to it as like more
Just stay
modern.
at the bottom of the hill
Have
there.
there? I feel like I could pick someone up. Plus, we're going to have 2 controllers and a PlayStation Classic in the office, so I feel like I'm going to have to get good at it, because I bet you guys play it all the time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, great.
The first and potentially only thing that I'm going to be playing on the PlayStation Classic is Tekken 3, obviously, Dave.
I'll play with you, yeah.
Yeah, sure. We should play together. No,
Yes.
I'm not going to play with you. That would be ridiculous. So the things that I'm really looking forward to, Tekken 3, I maintain is the best of the Tekken series.
It's the best fighting game.
It's the best fight. That's right, Rob. It is the best fighting game ever, and it's not because we're old. It's because that's
It's
just
true.
That's just true. So yeah, you were talking about like Tekken 1, Tekken 2, and you go back, and the gap between them and Tekken 3. The graphics are smoothed out. Like the sidestepping is so smooth. The move list is like fluid and deep. It's like how it honestly looks like they should be on different generations of machine. Tekken 3 is this mad quantum leap. It's such
Don't say that. My
it's
plan
such a
was
good
to
game.
ease in.
No man,
with
you've got
Tekken 3.
but that's where I started as well. I played a bit of Tekken 2, but then Tekken 3 is really where it's at, and it's just so good. And it's got, it's the main fighting game is good, and I'm looking forward to playing that. My main character is still Law. It's still Law now. It's just that all of my experiences with Tekkens, I've never had as much time to learn Tekken now as I did when I first played Tekken 3. So all the moves I do now in Tekken are the moves that still work from Tekken 3 if I'm Law again. Oh, this 3-hit combo still works and that gets me into this punch. That's fine. I'll just do loop kicks forever and I've platinumed the game. It's good. But the other things in Tekken 3, which are not in later Tekkens, include a small lizard called Gon, who is fun to play with.
Yes!
Gon is amazing.
We're going to get the animation at the end where he's all tiny.
Exactly.
And he's on the, I don't want to spoil it.
But it's good though.
It's so good.
And Dr.
I won't
Boskonovich.
see it.
Dr. Boskonovich!
Dr. Boskonovich, who is like playing, it's like the game is broken and he's drunk and all the buttons are wrong and you're sort of fighting, but he's very hard to defeat.
He was when we had it on the PS1, my brother always tried Paul to be the main character we used.
Yes.
I made sure it was Dr. B. He's never forgiven me.
Paul is the best, in my experience, is the best person to play because he has that horrible ground punch. So if Dr. Boskonovich is lying on the ground, Paul just punches him right in the head. It's so satisfying. But yeah, like you can do like Eddie versus Dr. Boskonovich, like the idiot falling down battle on Tekken 3. And Survival, which is like my secret way to waste just hundreds of hours, which is you just fight endless wave attacks. I think every now and again you get a bit of your life back, but otherwise it depletes, like, you know, every 5 rounds you might get a bit back. Or it might be how quickly you kill people gets it back. So basically what it ends up being is trying to trick the AI into letting you do your super move, or your unblockable move, and then finishing off people as quickly as possible. Or with Law, just doing endless sweep kicks forever. And then eventually you get to like level 26 and you feel arbitrarily happy. I can't wait to do that again. It's going to be brilliant.
I was going to say, do you play it cheap, like the same move over and over and over again?
Yes. Yeah, as you will learn, Rosie, I play every game cheap. Yes.
Okay, Dave, just be Eddie when you fight him. Eddie's great for cheap ones.
Okay.
That is true, yeah. Eddie could be...
But I want to be Yoshimitsu.
Oh, but he's... Oh, I wouldn't be Yoshimitsu.
Not
He's got a
beginner.
But I like saying his name.
He's got a good kick though.
Yoshimitsu.
If you like kicks, he's got a good leg on him.
Right, okay.
He
Back
does.
square.
That's good.
Just press
Back
back square.
square.
All the time.
And I like when he talks at the end of when he's won. He says his own name in a funny way. So
Yes, exactly.
so that's good as well.
And what game named Curveball? Although you've probably figured it out by now.
As I asked the first question,
Yeah. What game have you not played that you're looking forward to?
I am weirdly quite excited about Mr. Driller
Yay!
because I played a bit of
It
it
looked great.
in prep
I'm not
for-
aware of it either.
It's
No,
a
but-
lot of fun.
Yeah, when they announced the list, I was like, I always thought I don't know what I thought it was, but I didn't think it was it's kind of like a top-down puzzle game.
It's a great game, I find, because some nights I play it randomly. Like, it's just a great if you're just like sort of chilling and you
Yeah.
just want like something, just even if you're on like a 10-minute break or something, you just want to see how down you get.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a lot of fun, really colourful, and he keeps on going like Atsu! Whenever he gets air. It's adorable.
The music's brilliant as well. The music's genuinely
Yeah.
great, so I'm excited about that. Tekken Bowl, which not something which has come back very
Is it
often.
bowling?
You literally do 10-pin bowling, yeah, in Tekken.
Tekken Tag Tournament did it as well. That was a really good
Was
one.
that in 3?
I'm pretty sure Tekken Bowl is in 3. If not, we'll have to cut this bit of the video.
I mean, I did literally say to cut this out. That's a real strike against me. Like the video if you agree, or even if you don't, subscribe and click that notification bell so you never miss another Tuesday checklist. Thanks for watching and see you next week.
For the players.